But you know what, Jamie, I want to go to you first on this because obviously you tweeted about it regarding the Unreal Engine 5. And of course, that is one of the favorite topics of Umbra, which we will get to in a second. But Stalker 2, man, listen, every time I've seen that game, it looks better. Now it is from a studio that has gone through it. We don't have to reiterate that they were a Ukrainian studio. We don't have to talk about, the team members they actually lost defending the country, but that game has been delayed. It's coming out this November, I believe 20th, if I'm not mistaken. We're all excited. This is a big Game Pass release. It is obviously an Xbox exclusive, of course, on PC, but console exclusive. You can only play it on Xbox. I think a lot of people are going to dig it. I want to get your hot take and your opinion on what was shown yesterday, because that was a pretty beefy deep dive, if you will. And they showed off a lot of gameplay. The Unreal Engine 5 that they have, what I believe, mastered, looks so freaking good. Let's get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the biggest and best games of the year. You have this single massive open world that consists of, let me say, 20 different regions.
Yep.
There's not going to be any loading screens in any of that. It's all seamless. And before this generation started, we've been told constantly Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5, and it's only really this year and a little bit of last year where we begin to see what Unreal Engine 5 can truly do. And this is really the first open world game of its kind using Unreal Engine 5. And it's massive. It's beautiful. The game's meant to cause anxiety because it's not your typical first-person shooter. People have to think of it as is Metro Exodus, but on steroids.
Yes.
Metro is based on the Stalker franchise. So, this game's going to be big. And one of the big takeaways from this in the demo yesterday, what I got is that this is, it's a first-person shooter. It's open world, but there's no leveling system in this game. The progression is the story, but also you learning the environment and remembering how to act in each certain region, because in each region you're going to be attacked by different kinds of creatures and enemies. Yep. And, it's all seamless. You have characters living throughout the world doing their own thing. It's truly going to be an impressive game. And what we've seen so far, I think we've seen a mixture of Xbox and PC footage, but either way, it looks phenomenal. A lot of people have been waiting for this, and we live in a world where we don't really see a lot of military style shooters anymore.
Yeah.
And even though this one is a bit out there because there's monsters and stuff, it's going to have horror elements and immersive sim elements. This game, I think a lot of people have been wanting this. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Stalker fans have been waiting since 2007 for a sequel. It's impressive. I've watched that reveal that we got yesterday twice. It's possibly one of the most impressive looking games of all time. This is up there with Hellblade 2, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are going to love this. Yes, it was pushed to November, but I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. And it's going to be a huge Game Pass Ultimate game. I can't wait. And I think, everything that was shown yesterday, it's just impressive. I'm looking at this list of features, and, it has the most advanced lighting you have in an open world game. So better than the previous Far Cry and Assassin's Creed games. It's impressive. That's all I can say, really. There's 35 different weapons that can be modified and upgraded with many different kinds of attachments. It's just impressive.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm looking at your tweet and some of the footage you show that you have attached to it. This game looks like, no matter what angle you're looking at, no matter whether it be the day, whether it be the rain, whether it be at night, there's something happening on the screen that impresses me. Some of the sunrise where it's actually glistening off your scope, that is gorgeous to look at. Again, you walked around a corner and the moon is half covered by the clouds, but you still get some moonlight, and that moonlight shines onto the character and the gun. That is crazy impressive. And again, I really kind of want to drive the point home where this is a massive get for Xbox as an exclusive. It is a massive get for Xbox Game Pass specifically. Listen, Umbra, I want to get your take on this because this is a game also you've talked about, not only here, but on your own podcast. Every time we see this, the game gets more gorgeous to look at. Lots of weapons that I've seen. You name it, they have it. I love the fact that in your left hand, there's always some sort of a device that you're using, whether it be detect radiation, detect mines, detect creatures, and there is a lot happening. And I think Jamie knocked it out of the park, where not only is this hitting on all cylinders for Unreal Engine 5, it is a massive open world that is going to have seamless transition from one area to another with no loading screens. That is hard to do, and they seem to have figured it out. Obviously, it's 60 frames per second. Performance mode will be the way to go, which is, of course, what Jamie said. I agree there. This is a game you want to play at 60 for the combat and how fast those creatures are going to come at you. What are your thoughts on the deep dive from yesterday?
It was really interesting. I mean, gave us a bit more understanding. I think people who have been used to the previous games kind of got a bit more of what they were already understanding, which is like, I saw some people were like, oh, wait, you got weight limits, you know, like you would get in an RPG game, or for instance, of over encumbrance.
Yep.
Stalker has that, for instance, where you can have over encumbrance, you know. So I think things like that add to, I guess, more of the, the realness, if you will. That was the word I'm looking for here. Like to add to, I guess, to engrossing you into the world of where you can't just carry every single thing you want. You know, it's more akin to what you got on screen here now with Fallout, for instance, where you know have an encumbrance limit. So seeing things like that, you don't usually see that in first person shooters, for instance, but seeing things like that, just the way the swamp area look and everything, like you said, is gorgeous. Being an Unreal Engine 5, you know, not much else I can praise on that. I mean, it looks really good, man. Over 30 minutes of it shown that really kind of wowed us, and I guess rewowed us, and really showed us what they've been up to. It's funny that we're talking about this too, just as an aside, that this is another, you know, Ukrainian, you know, made game right here. So just as an aside, I'm noticing, but yeah, I really love what I saw. I gotta say, I think GSC, you know, the game world, they're doing their thing when it comes to this, and I can't really wait to get my hands on it. I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good hit for Game Pass in general and for Xbox. I think personally, I don't know if much else other superlatives I can throw on it outside of what Jamie had said. Really, I'm trying to look for something different to say, but I think he kind of covered it. It's not a ton of news else given there. I think just what we saw gives me a lot of, I wouldn't say hope, because I already expected the game to be great, but it gives us a lot more to look forward to coming up this fall. So